Hi.
How are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing splendid.
Good. Oh, isn't that good to hear?
We don't normally record this on a Friday.
No, we do not.
But guess-
Friday night.
But guess what? It's Friday night.
It's Friday night.
And maybe it's Friday night for you out there in podcast land.
What time is it
Well,
out there?
out there,
You
out,
listeners?
out here, it's 8:04 p.m. But
8:04 p.m.
But wherever you are, I hope it's also 8:04 p.m.
I hope it's 7:52 because I was having fun 12 minutes ago when I was watching the show Lost.
You were watching the show Lost? Now, why the heck were you doing that?
Because this is the show where we watch. Okay, get this. We watch Lost.
You know it.
But we don't watch it in the pre-prescribed order that they created and released the show in.
No, we watch it in a random order. Any episode at any given time could be watched.
We use this incredible service called random.org.
Oh, and we'll give you the lowdown on random.org.
It is true random.
Finally.
Oh, a lot of these random number generators, they use a predictable algorithm, and you know what they're going to say from the get-go. Don't you find that?
I find that all the time. And
I know where they're going.
Well, I assume that random.org would be the same way, but
it is not.
Oh my god.
Random.org. So it's a really great service like the ones you know and love. Squarespace, like Blue Apron, like MD mattresses.
All of our sponsors.
MeUndies.
Yes.
Audible.com and then random.org.
Mm-hmm.
Random.org. It uses static noise to create randomness out of static noise.
Man, when I use static noise, it's usually as a cool way to end a electronic song that I'm working on.
It's for your noise project.
It's for my noise project. Or it's just to fill in those extra channels that nobody's using.
I love making a little noise with the boys.
Noise with the boys.
Don't get me wrong.
Look, when you get the boys together, you're going to make a bit of noise.
The boys are back in town and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
We got to get together.
We got to get together. And just by virtue of the boys being the boys, along comes the noise.
Along comes the noise when the boys are the boys.
Oh.
And so Dr. Seuss said that initially. What he didn't realize is that you can generate randomness from that.
It's true. And random.org thankfully harnessed that randomness, and they're the gears that keep this bullshit turning.
So this one goes out to random.org.
as it often does.
as it
usually does.
All the fine people working there, I think they might have an employee.
They gotta have an employee. Do you keep a website going on for over 2 decades with no employee? That's my question to you, dear viewers.
No, you need one employee.
You need at least
not more than one.
You need at least a man to keep paying for it.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm. Or a woman.
Or a woman.
Or a non-binary person.
Or a non-binary person.
Mm-hmm.
But it cannot be an animal.
No.
They do not have thumbs.
They do not have thumbs. They do not have bank accounts.
They do not have bank accounts.
They have no sense of web design.
They have no sense of web design. They cannot vote. And if you don't vote, then you are not a responsible member of society, the type of person who makes a service like random.org.
That's
the
true.
Perfect service, the one we've always needed, the one that helps us make the podcast, the one that is like Audible and Squarespace and all of the other really good services.
I love all these services that sponsor our podcast and pay for us to do this. So what did random.org choose for us this week?
Random.org gave us Season 2, Episode 7. The Other 48 Days.
The Other 48 Days?
That's right. So before this, we had seen 48 Days.
Yes.
And now we're seeing them again.
We're seeing some other ones, though.
It says that they are the other 48 days, which is a bit misleading because they're actually the same 48 days.
Yes, it's the same 48 days, but just from a different perspective.
Yeah, so we are following the tail section.
Yes. The first shot we get is calm little beach.
Beautiful beach.
Beautiful beach. And
Hawaii.
It's alarmingly still. Too quiet.
Too quiet, honestly.
And what comes roaring down?
But an aeroplane.
An
aeroplane. If you didn't know, this
plane.
show is about an airplane.
An airplane that crashes on the damn island.
On the island of Hawaii.
The island of Hawaii. It
on
crashes
the islands of Hawaii.
one of the many islands of Hawaii. And and this episode, however, focuses not on the survivors we're familiar with. Hey,
no, not the Jack Lock Sawyer.
Jack Lock, Sawyer, Kate, Hurley, Locke, those boys.
Saeed,
Claire,
her shitty baby.
Charlie is there too.
Charlie, the old knuckle sayings himself.
Old knuckle sayings himself.
I'm
Charlie.
glad they dropped that. For the first 15 episodes, Charlie just writes shit on bandages on his knuckles.
Mm-hmm. He writes it and then he changes one letter on the word, and you're like, "Fuck, dude." Please contribute. Please contribute to the dying survivors.
Exactly. It's this is a life and death situation, and you are just making the effort of a 7th grader to look as emo as possible right now.
It is true. But good news, none of those fuckers are here today.
No, we have a whole new cast of lovable favorites.
Yes, I love them, and they're my favorites.
Who have we got? We have Ana Lucia.
Ana Lucia is the star of the show.
She is the star of the show. She is the leader.
Mm-hmm.
She is the Jack.
Mm-hmm.
She is the God.
And at the opposite end of that, we have quiet Mr. Echo.
Mr. Echo, he is not the leader. He is the, I don't want to say henchman, but he's the bailiff.
He's the bailiff of the court of law.
He is the bailiff of the court of law.
We also have Bernard. We have Libby. We have a few other random erratic characters.
Some small children. We have a man with a broken leg.
We have Cindy. We have
Nathan.
And they're all in tatters when this damn plane crashes.
They are not happy about being in a plane crash. I will tell you that much.
Remember the pilot, how a plane crashed?
Yes.
Well, they decided to do that again.
They made the pilot again because the first one was not very good.
They decided, man, we can do better.
Yeah, we can do a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And did they? Yeah.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's pretty all right. So this is a very major break from the traditional format of Lost, and maybe the first time they do it. Early in season 2, before this, Jin and Sawyer and Michael wash up on shore, and they meet all these guys. And they're like, who the fuck are these guys? And those guys are also like, who the fuck are you?
Who are you?
And they're kind of don't really trust each other. What's the deal?
There's a big misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. And this episode spends some time saying, these guys aren't the others. These guys are the tail section. And the whole episode is basically saying, here's the entire events of the show up until this point, but from the perspective of the tail section.
Yes. And it is quite a story, let me tell you.
Let us tell you this. Let us spin you a yarn.
Day 1.
Mm-hmm.
Dying, catastrophic violence.
Very bad. Echo is pulling children out, and they manage to Anna manages to save one of the children with CPR.
Another child is just fine.
Another child is fine, but the one of them is in danger.
The stronger of the two.
Mm-hmm. And she asks for where mom is, but guess what? They're not in LA, baby.
Oh no, you're in Hawaii.
And Echo's pulling bodies out of the ground. There's a man, tons of screaming, tons of nonsense.
And you know where the most screaming is going on?
Where's that?
Up in that tree.
Up in that tree.
Up in a tree, we see. Well, this man walks and he says, "Someone's yelling in the woods over there." And he gets Ana Lucia, the man, whose name is, what's his name? Goodwin.
You're talking about Goodwin.
I'm talking about Goodwin. He's like, someone's over there in a tree. And he gets Ana Lucia, and they both go. And then who is up in a tree but a dead body and...
Our protagonist, Bernard.
Our protagonist, Bernard, is stuck in a tree.
He's stuck in a tree, and he's clinging on for dear life. He's, to clarify, he's sitting in a detached plain chair that has lodged itself into a tree.
Yes. And we're not talking like an unadorned chair, a chair that is very...
No.
This is an airplane's chair.
Yes, a chair from the airplane that just crashed.
Yeah, the one that was in the sky moments ago.
But a scant moment ago, this plane was soaring through the sky.
But a scant moment ago.
Classic thing people say, but a scant moment ago.
Scant.
Bring back scant is what I say.
Bring back scant. Bring back scat.
Let's bring back... Some might say scat never left, if you just know where to look.
I don't know who would say that, and I don't really want to meet the person who would say that. The person that is like, scat is alive and well in the world clearly lives in this terrifying, like, decrepit alley of a world in which they hang out with the one Scatman left.
They hang out with the last Scatman.
The last Scatman.
The cross the last Scatman has to bear. The final bearer of his art.
Oh my!
And it is art.
It is. Yeah. Let's be clear.
Let's be
about
clear.
this one.
Scat
Just
is
as
alive and well.
random.org is random.
Scat is alive
art.
and well, and art. It is art, and it is thriving to someone out there.
To some degree, somewhere, somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not about the Scatman.
It's not about the Scatman.
This is about Bernard.
This is about Bernard Avenue, my favorite avenue on an island.
Love that.
Yeah.
I know that road. That's right up the street from here for those of you who aren't here right now.
If you're not in the room with us right now, you probably might not be familiar with Bernard Avenue, but let me tell you,
it's up the street.
it's right up the street. I go to the CIBC there
Yes.
to get food, to get money so I can get food.
Money. Oh, I love that stuff.
And then I also go to some of the restaurants there to get food with the money I
Food.
get from the CIBC.
Food like in the belly.
Yeah, that's where it goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Pop-Tart.
Like a Pop-Tart.
Pop-Tart, chicken pot pie,
Yeah.
shepherd's pie, apple pie.
These are all things that you can find.
These are types of food.
These are types of food that are available exclusively on Bernard Avenue in the beautiful Mile End.
So
And sunny,
Bernard
beautiful
Avenue
Outremont, of
is
course.
stuck in a tree.
Yeah, so Bernard Avenue is stuck in a tree.
And Ana Lucia is like, you gotta touch that branch and hold on for dear life because your seat is falling.
And Bernard's like, I don't know. And Anna's like, you gotta, buddy. Buddy, you gotta.
And then his seat falls out of the tree, but he's up in the tree still. He grabbed on.
He grabbed on. He made it.
He's a smart little boy.
He's a smart little boy.
Don't think he's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dentist. He went to school.
He's a dentist. So a couple nights in, folks are sleeping.
They're having a rest. When it's dark.
When it's dark and the sun go away, you gotta close those eyes because there's nothing to look at anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well close those eyes for 8 hours at least.
Absolutely. Wait until the sun comes back up.
Then you can start seeing things again.
Exactly.
Give your eyes a break.
Rest them. Shut them. Let them do their little old thing.
Please. I beg of you.
If you're listening out there and it is dark outside, honestly, shut those eyes.
Shut those eyes off. They've earned a rest.
Exactly.
This-
You worked all day.
They spent all day processing visual information for you, and you're not even going to give them a rest?
You're not. What are you thinking? At least if you're not giving them a rest, put some frickin' glasses on.
Come on. We don't ask for much, but we ask that. So a couple nights in, they're shutting their eyes and rustling in the woods. What the heck is that? Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. What was that? And who do they find but Echo drenched in fucking blood?
Echo has a rock in his hand. He's covered in blood, and there's two bodies.
Mm-hmm. When daylight comes back, Echo goes to find a stick, and they look at the bodies, and they realize they're not dressed in, like, clothes. They're just dressed in, like, rags and shit. They don't have any wallets or any ID.
They don't have shoes.
They weren't on the plane, buddy. These are some of those famous others that we know and love.
Yes.
And,
yes.
And not only that, but 3 of the folks are gone now.
Oh, yeah, they're missing people.
They're missing people. Well, what the heck? What the heck are we? How do we? And so there's a kind of a debate that goes out as, should we
put their pictures on the milk carton?
Should we put their pictures on the milk carton?
Should
How are we
we
going to find
report this
them?
to the police?
And then they go, oh, yeah, we're stranded on an island.
There is no the milk carton.
There's no the milk carton out here.
We're all that person.
We are all the milk carton.
Yes, exactly. We collectively form the walls, and the more bland personalities of us form the milk on the inside, calcium to strengthen your bones.
Got a question for you. Who's the spout on this milk carton?
The spout.
The spout.
Who talks the most?
Oh boy. Oh, it's gotta be Ana Lucia.
Yeah, Ana Lucia is the spout.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real
Libby's
here.
pretty chatty.
Libby's a little bit chatty.
Libby's pretty chatty. Libby, we get a lot of Libby in this episode, and it's
We
pretty
do.
good.
It's this is the only episode we've seen so far where Libby is interesting.
Libby is
And she's
interesting
great.
and substantial, and she's great. She's like
They
very
could have done
helpful.
so much more with that character.
We have a scene where she helps someone with a broken leg, and she handles it like a pro. She's telling a
Yes.
story about how like she got her own plane crash, and this is like in the like midst of the chaos. She's just like, yeah, well, hey, well, your broken leg's not that bad. Here, let me just fucking snap it.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. That's my favorite noise that you make.
Yeah.
It's a good noise.
Thank you very much.
The classic yelp.
So the others have come.
They've come, and everybody's on edge.
Everybody's on edge. They're not happy that they are being kidnapped.
Exactly. Who would be?
It's bad enough that I fell out of the sky.
Yes.
Now I'm being kidnapped.
Come
What
on.
next?
Oh, airlines.
Monday.
If it's not one thing, it's another.
Exactly.
They lose my luggage. I'm stuck on the tarmac for an hour. Then I fall out of the sky and get kidnapped.
Oh my
Air
goodness.
Canada.
I'm never flying United again.
Fuck that.
I'm never flying Oceanic Airlines again.
We're saying it right here, right now. Oceanic Airlines, get your head out of your ass.
I have only heard of one flight that they've ever done, and it did not go well.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yes.
airlines.
Mm-hmm. What about them?
Is that just another word for chemtrails?
Oh, fuck. You're not wrong, dude. You blew the lid off it.
I blew the lid off it.
Damn.
They've been hiding it in plain sight this whole time.
Oh, my God.
It's like
plain
how fluoride
sight.
toothpaste says it's fluoride toothpaste.
Yeah, it's just like right there.
Why do they need to put the fluoride in the toothpaste?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. There's no way of knowing.
There's simply no way of knowing.
We can't possibly even theorize.
I want to, as long as we're on in the conspiracy rabbit hole, and
we are.
and we'll get back to Lost in a second. But my friend,
I fear that people are like, this is the time they never get back to Lost.
this is it. This is the one. This is the
And
one
they
where the
never
whole.
spoke of Lost again.
My friend Kale was going through this like tiered list of random like conspiracy theories in like that were tiered in order of like how like brain genius they make you if you really understand them or something like that. And like it mostly made no sense. It was mostly nonsense, but one of the list, and it's just like shit like listed without context. It's just like chemtrails, world is flat, moon landing fake, blah blah blah.
Honestly, great.
But
stuff.
as it goes on, it gets more and more like detached from any sense of anything. And you get like, oh, world is a simulation. This like you get like random shit.
That is so sick.
It's so sick. To go into all of them would be the rest of this podcast. I will just mention the one that sticks with me to this day and haunts me to this day. The one that is simply JFK shot himself.
Oh my god. That is incredible.
I can't stop thinking about how JFK shot himself.
Oh my god.
It all adds up.
It all adds up too well.
Connect the dots and you'll find it.
The dots.
You'll find out that really.
Did you see Quincy Jones did a really good interview?
That interview gave me
You read
life,
it? Yeah,
dude.
it's
Oh my God.
incredible.
It's hard to pick one bit of that interview that I love. I like the bit where he says that he thinks he's a dog sometimes.
He is sometimes, I believe.
Definitely my actual favorite part is the bit where he says like, like, oh man, Bono's such a great friend of mine. Love that guy.
Is U2 still making good music?
No.
Good. Like Quincy is telling it like it is. My favorite was whenever the question was, what was your first impression of the Beatles? The answer was that they were the worst musicians in the world.
That's just the best shit ever.
Yeah. The man is truly good.
He's truly good. Quincy Jones, chaotic good. All right, so back to Lost. A debate rages. Do people know that we're here? Do we move inward? But we can't do that because we got to keep a signal fire going.
Yeah.
And ultimately they decide, let's stay on the beach. Let's just stay on the beach. It's easier that way.
Stay here.
And the man with the broken leg passes away. And
yes,
that's hard.
He does because the infection spread.
The infection spread. And another night comes and goes. And even more people get kidnapped.
And they take the kids this time.
They take the kids this time.
They take the kids this time.
They take not only the kids, but 7 more people.
Yeah.
They take a total of 9 people.
But they get one of the, like the tail section, kills one of the kidnappers. And that kidnapper is wearing clothes with pockets with a list. A list of the people that they kidnapped.
So these aren't just random, whoever's.
These aren't just
this is
like random number generators.
Yeah, exactly. These guys did not come from random.org. There is a sense of coordination from these guys.
There's an algorithm.
And the paranoia ramps back up. And Nathan, we have a man named Nathan who's hanging out. And
he's not really doing anything. He just went to the bathroom for 2 hours.
He goes to the bathroom for a bit, and suddenly everybody thinks, oh, it's got to be Nathan infiltrated us.
Do they say the word bathroom?
I think he says I went to the bathroom. Yeah.
That's so funny just because there is no bathroom.
It is pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
Where did you find a bathroom?
Oh, I went to the tree.
I went to the tree.
I went to the jungle.
Pissed on her. The tree.
Love to piss on the tree.
Love to piss on the good old tree.
Hey, you pissed on the tree today?
No, not today.
Oh, you gotta piss on the tree, dude.
I might piss on the tree soon. Maybe when it gets warm out.
Yeah, well, let's go pissing on some trees sometime.
Let's go pissing on trees.
I'm excited for pissing on tree weather.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's definitely the most consecutive times we've said piss on this podcast.
Bathroom weather?
Bathroom weather.
He was in the bathroom in the woods.
Yeah.
As we've all done.
Admit it.
Admit it.
Just
we've
admit
all
it.
been camping.
Yes. And what are you going to go to the toilet in nature?
In nature? No, you find the room.
You find the room.
The dedicated room with a tub. The tub room.
The tub room. So, the gang decides we gotta move inland. Because this is a threat, and we've been out here long enough to know no one's coming.
There's 6 of us now.
There's 6 of us, and also it's been long enough that nobody's coming.
Yeah.
So let's just go inside. Let's go indoors.
Let's go into the bathroom.
Let's go into the bathroom. And along the way, suspicion grows of this Nathan character. And everybody kind of realizes, like, hey, I never saw him on the plane. Did you see him on the plane? And every time I try to talk to him, he doesn't talk about his past at all. Oh my gosh, we gotta. And so eventually, what happens is Anna digs out a little prison cell.
Oh yeah, she does.
She digs out a little prison cell in the hole in the ground, and dumps Nathan right in there.
And it's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild.
Honestly, I was not expecting that.
You weren't expecting that, eh?
I didn't expect her to create prison. Because she dug like a fucking 10-foot deep, like a 10 by 10 by 10 hole.
It's a hole of significance.
How did that happen? That is not a hole that someone can dig.
She did it.
She did it, though. Yet her pants are still very clean.
She dug it very carefully.
Yeah.
You just got to be careful.
She's a very meticulous individual.
Mm-hmm. So she throws Nathan in and spends some time interrogating Nathan.
Yes.
And Nathan is not cooperative. Nathan's like, I was on the plane, damn it. And I was in...
You can't tell me what I can't do.
I'm from Canada, buh.
I'm from Canada.
And everybody... And as the days turn to more days, people start to grow...
As the days turn to years.
As the years turn to millennia, more people start to go, I don't know. I feel like it's been millennia, Anna, and she's still not cooperating. Do you really think this is a good idea? I mean,
He might not be the guy.
he might not be the guy.
You might be wrong.
You might be wrong. And the way this gets resolved is we get a scene where Goodwin at night opens up the hatch, gives down a rope, says, "Hey, come on up, come on up,
Nady boy.
We're all worried about what Anna's gonna do to you.
Kill ya.
She's gonna kill you or worse. So here's some food. Beach is that way. Just run, just go for it."
Good luck, bud.
And just when he's about to go, Goodwin fucking kills him.
Goodwin murders the man.
Goodwin murders the man.
Nathan dies a horrible death.
A horrible death of neck being snapped.
Then Goodwin goes to sleep.
Then Goodwin goes to sleep.
Sleeps like a baby.
And he sleeps like a baby right next to Anna, which is a creepy move.
Yeah, it is a really creepy
Anna
move.
wakes up to him like just staring at Anna. Fucking uncomfortable.
Goodwin.
And they wake up and they find Nathan's gone. They presume that the others have come to rescue him or something, and they're just like, we gotta keep moving. We gotta keep on moving. And what do they find eventually?
They find a radio. Oh, they find a little room. They find the bathroom.
They find a little bathroom. They find a Dharma bathroom.
They find a Dharma bathroom. It's really like a Dharma closet.
It's a Dharma closet. Compared to the hatch, it's a real shithole.
It sucks.
It's like one room. There's some lights in there.
There's a chest.
There's a chest that has some bullshit in it. The chest has a glass eye and a Bible.
Yeah.
Helpful. Cool.
And a little radio.
They do have a little radio.
Yeah.
And so they say, well, hey, let's try this radio out. But then Bernard opens it for 2 seconds, and Goodwin goes, I think the hills are blocking the frequency. We gotta
go to higher ground.
just why don't you just give me that? Super unsuspicious Goodwin comes along and says,
literally 2 seconds in.
Yeah, 2 seconds. It's not working.
It's not gonna work.
Let me take it by myself into the woods, and it'll be fine.
I love the thought that it's like they have this radio, but it just doesn't work on the vast majority of the island.
Yeah, you gotta be on the tippy top of a hill.
You gotta climb the mountain if you want to use the radio.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
That's absurd.
You know how radios work.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that is how radios work. I don't know how radios work. Do you know how radios work?
Think about it, I do not know how radios work.
It does also seem like a contrivance that they need to get people to go on a journey.
Yeah. That is it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, higher ground. That's a thing, right?
It sounds...
cell phone reception.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I don't get cell phones in it. That's radios, right?
That's radios.
That's radios. Hey.
I saw the movie Radio, so I am an expert.
Yes.
And radios are mostly about football.
Radios, if you've ever really, busted one open, taking a look at the parts, it's mostly about football.
The Super Bowl lives there.
The Super Bowl lives there, and Tom Brady getting sacked lives there too. Timely Super Bowl references. That's what we're about on this podcast.
Only about a month late on that one.
Only about a month late on that one.
Only about a month late on that one.
I'm real proud of this one. It's only a month late on that one.
Oh, I only waited an extra month before this became a problem. Oh,
Who's this fucking, ancient appraiser of bits that we've just concocted?
So his name is Reginald.
Is he the Last Scatman?
He lives under me in my building.
Under you, first and foremost.
Under me. Literally under me.
There he is.
There he is.
Down there.
You can see him.
I'm looking at him.
He is very small and has a dirty, dirty mouth.
Is he the Last Scatman?
He is the Last Scatman. Scat is alive and well. It is about 3 inches tall and is just this ancient, bizarre talking little elf.
Who loves to rate our jokes based on timeliness.
Yeah, exactly. And grossly overestimates how timely we are with our jokes.
Yeah, if we're within 3 months, he's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's still living in 1962.
Honestly, who isn't?
Who isn't?
I'll tell you who's still living in 1962. These clowns in Congress.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, 1962. It's sort of about 5 years before a very big change in
True.
in society that most people
Yes, about 5
I'd
years.
say it's for the better.
And some would say it was 1 year before JFK shot himself.
Oh my God. True.
Yeah.
Honestly, without a doubt, the
Definitely the truest conspiracy theory I've ever heard.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
It's funny to think about when there's footage of him not doing that.
Exactly. That's the thing. Is after the Quincy Jones thing, I regrettably looked up JFK dying footage. It's very real.
Yeah, it sucks to look at.
I felt bad.
It's not good. It's definitely a man dying.
Yeah, that's it. His you definitely watch too. It's like,
oh no.
I don't know. That impact could not be made by like a small bullet.
No, it sucks. It's not good.
No, it's not.
It's weird how watching a guy die in real time is not good and fun.
There's something off-putting about it.
There is something. Can't put my finger on it. But there's just that je ne sais quoi that you just.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yes. Yes. So Goodwin.
So Goodwin and so Anna's like, I'll come along with you. So Anna's like, Goodwin, I'll come along with you. It's better if we go in pairs anyway.
Yeah.
So they go. And they sit down for a bit, have a break. Carve up a mango with the army knife that they lifted off of one of the others.
Yeah.
And they're chatting, and Anna's asking Goodwin some questions,
As you do.
Who were you before? Casual chatting.
What were you doing?
Why do you think they came for some of us and not all of us?
Yeah.
How do you think they got the hold of an army knife?
Goodwin is insanely defensive towards the others.
Yeah.
It's like he's so ridiculously
here's
no tact to this man.
Here's what I'll say. Me and James have seen Goodwin among the others before.
Yes.
So
we know that he's another.
We knew that he was another. And in knowing this, you realize that his behavior throughout the entire episode is perfectly unsuspicious. The least suspicious man. He's actually genuinely helpful.
Yeah,
the whole
exactly.
time.
He seems awesome.
Until he kills Nathan, and then he is immediately fucking just like, maybe the others are good, actually.
Yes, exactly. Ana Lucia is like, why do you think they're trying to hurt us? And he's like, maybe they're not trying to hurt us. Maybe they're trying to help us. And it's like, what? Who are you? Whose side are you on? And it's clearly theirs.
It's clearly theirs. And there's one good moment in this where he says, where he's like, how do you think they got a U.S. Army knife? And Goodwin's like, what do you mean? A U.S. Army knife? How do you know that? And Ana Lucia's like, here, I'll show you. And she shows her the text on the blade that says U.S. Army.
It just says U.S. Army.
Yeah.
How do you know that? It's
pretty.
The title of the knife.
It's the only information on the knife.
Yeah, exactly. Did you get this from IKEA? How'd you know? Says IKEA on it.
Yeah, Goodwin gets so duped. Just like, how did you crack the code?
You cracked the code.
How could you possibly know that this is military? She must know her knives really well.
And then Ana Lucia lets it all drop. She was suspicious of Goodwin all the time. She's like, you came out of the woods. How did you see Bernard? You weren't wet at all. You weren't really on the plane, were you? And here I am thinking, well, this is 30 days after all this happened.
Yeah, why were you hating on Nate so badly?
Yeah,
exactly. When you were sus a Goodwin this whole time, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. When you're like, you can't bring up all of your evidence can't have happened on the first day, and then you didn't act suspicious towards him whatsoever while holding another person hostage.
Yes, very just like, I was playing you the whole time moment.
Oh my goodness, Ana Lucia.
And Goodwin drops Act 2 and says, yeah, I'm another. And guess what? We stole the kids and killed Nathan, and the kids are better off with us anyway. And out breaks a knife fight. That quickly turns into a knife versus spear fight.
Which is pretty sick.
Pretty sick fight, honestly. And it ends climactically.
It ends. Ana Lucia is on the ground. She has the spear in her hands. Goodwin has higher ground. And you know what you do whenever you have higher ground.
Yeah.
Jump belly first onto the person that you're trying to fight.
Especially
Every time,
especially
jump
when
belly first.
especially when they're pointing a pointed object directly at you.
Just try and belly flop on the person. Goodwin has watched way too much WWE because that is how he tries to take her down. Like he's on top of the ropes and then he's jumping off.
Yeah, he gets on top of the ropes and then he shouts, "Neville!" And then he goes belly first.
He had just watched Harry Potter. So, Ana Lucia just sticks the spear out, and Goodwin gets killed.
Gets fucking impaled through the goddamn belly.
It's sick.
It's a violent death.
It's lit.
This show is violent.
It is not good.
It's bad for the children.
Really bad show.
It's a bad show that I hate to watch because of all the violence and sex and moral indecency.
Blood, there's heroin. There's drugs.
Oh my god.
There's the children get taken.
Oh my god.
Let me out.
Is there anything good and Christian on this show?
I guess this show's theme is very Christian.
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
It's sort of about Christ.
Yeah, it is. This show is directly about Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So Anna comes back and they're like, "Where's Goodwin?" And Anna's just like, "Fuck Goodwin. We keep going."
Yeah, exactly. We're safe now.
So Bernard tries the radio one more time.
Oh yeah, this is dope.
And he hears someone.
He fucking does.
Who's he hear?
He hears Boone.
He hears Boone.
Boone.
Remember yesterday's episode? Last week's episode?
Yesterday's. You listened to that episode yesterday.
If you're binging, you probably listened to that episode yesterday. You might have even listened to it but moments ago.
You binge one a day.
You binge one a day.
You binge one, you lose one.
And you know what? It takes one to know one.
It takes one to take two.
To tango.
Yes. So
Bernard hears the other side of this conversation that we heard last week.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Seconds before Boone dies.
Seconds before the plane comes crashing down on Boone.
And that's just a cool little tidbit.
Just a nice little, hey, that's neat.
It sort of doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't really mean anything, but it's neat.
It's neat.
And Anna comes over and shuts the radio off, and it says, "It's them. It's a trap. There's no other survivors of Flight 815. It's only us.
With us five.
It's us five, and they're trying to trap us and lure us. So shut that radio off. It's bullshit." And Anna goes by the river and cries for a bit.
Oh, yeah, and Echo gives her a hug.
Echo gives her a hug, and Echo has basically spent this whole... ever since doing those murders, Echo is like just actually silent and just like carving out his Jesus stick.
Uh-huh.
And
I love his murdering Jesus stick.
Yeah, and he's like around throughout the episode. Like whenever Anna does something crazy, Echo shows up and kind of glares at him, and he's like,
and Anna's very frustrated that Echo won't talk.
Exactly. Anna's just like, "If you don't like it, say something, idiot."
Yeah, what are you, stupid?
And Echo just like lumbers off.
Like a piece of lumber.
Like a piece of lumber. And he's carrying a piece of lumber as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lumber party.
It's a bit of a lumber party.
It's a bit of a lumber party.
We've all had lumber parties.
We've all had lumber parties.
Yes.
You have bellow fights.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you talk about koi's, the fish.
Yes. That's just a classic lumber party.
Lumber party, everybody. So she's crying.
She's crying.
And Echo comes.
Echo comes
like,
and says,
"Sup?
It's gonna be okay."
Yeah.
And Anna's like, "Oh, now you're talking?" And Echo says, "It's been 40 days, buddy."
Buddy.
And Anna says, "What, you waited 40 days to start talking again?" And Echo, and maybe the corniest but sweetest line of the episode also, says, "Took you 40 days to cry."
Aww.
And they have themselves a little hug
Echo.
by the river.
Echo.
And they go, "Well, life ain't easy, is it?" And then the episode
Takes a turn.
Up
to this point, the episode was good.
The episode has been, up until this point, very good to great even.
Yeah. I would go so far as to say that the drama is real, it's palpable.
The drama is real. The stakes are, even knowing that like all of these characters die. The stakes feel real.
The sharpened wooden stakes are
very real. Goodwin knows how real they
in
are.
Goodwin's stomach.
And for all the like silliness, there's like this episode does a way better job of making us sympathize with Ana Lucia.
Yeah.
Than that other episode did.
Oh, of course. Than anything we've seen of her so far.
Exactly. It's I was really startled at how much, and especially like when Lost goes like, well, this time the whole episode's gonna be just this thing.
Yeah.
It tends to drag.
Yeah, of course.
But this episode like is edited punctually.
Yeah, it's good.
It like just like plows through.
It's edited punk.
It's edited like an episode of Ashton Kutcher's Punked.
It's like you're watching the show Punked.
Ana Lucia kills Goodwin, and then we get a talking head of Ana Lucia, and it's like black and white and film grainy, and she's just like, I knew Goodwin was another the whole time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I just punked him real good.
Goodwin, you'll never be the same after this one because he's dead.
Classic prank. Anyways,
They get to the beach.
The episode takes a turn for the weird.
They go back to the beach.
They go back to the beach.
And then they see Jin.
Jin washes ashore.
Jin's in the water. He washes up on shore. And then they take him, and they think he's an other, and they tie him to a tree. And they're like, who are you? And he speaks Korean. And they're like, I don't think he's an other. He doesn't even speak English.
And Anna's just like, I don't trust the others at all, because that's been the whole deal of this episode, is that I can't trust anything anymore ever.
Which is fair. And then Jin's like, I'm going to run away.
Yep.
And he does so, and he runs to the beach, and for some reason, Michael and Sawyer are right there.
They're right there. They were right behind him.
Cue montage of Echo beating everybody with his Jesus stick.
It's cool to see.
It is really cool. That might be the best part of the episode.
But then what happens is it kind of... we get this long montage.
Yeah, like a 4-minute montage. Poorly edited.
Very poorly edited.
Very choppy.
Like, it's kind of like slow fades to black and back in to like things that have happened up until now in the season.
Yeah, it's like a bad preview for a movie.
It's everything's also in choppy slow motion.
Yeah, it's
not like cool looking slow
like
motion.
5 frames per second.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
And the whole time there's like incredibly trailer music happening. It's like dong dong dong.
Yeah,
dong,
exactly.
dong,
Exactly.
Dong,
like this
dong,
bullshit
dong.
drum thing going on.
Like it should what it should be is like it should be like a more like soft. It should be like I don't want to say tender. That's not the right word.
Yeah, it's not. But
it should be like these things that you've seen already.
That's
but
it.
now they're recontextualized now that
They're
you know the
not-
full story.
They're not like this intense,
Exactly.
life-changing thing because it's things that the audience
it's
already
just like
knows.
it's just like when Sawyer and Michael were there.
Yeah, exactly. You remember the things that have happened over the last 4 episodes?
Dong 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 dong.
They're insane now.
This
This is the most exciting part of the show is watching it again.
Yeah, and it's not. It's
You know when you rewatch a movie and like there's so much more suspense the second time?
yeah. You're just on the edge of your seat thinking like I know who the alien's gonna kill next.
Exactly.
But I can't wait for it to happen.
I can't believe it.
And then it starts to go in slow motion and the choppy slow motion, and Ridley is there.
Ridley is there.
Ridley's there. My favorite part of Alien is when Ridley is there.
I love the man and the questions. Riddles.
How'd you like this episode, other than that end bit?
Yeah, so it ends on that note.
Yeah, it literally ends with that, and it ends with them shooting Shannon.
Yeah, which
And
is fine.
the end.
Aside from that, it was a great episode.
Yeah, I was surprised at how much I was entertained by this episode.
It's fun because it's like the stakes are real. The characters are fun and fresh and interesting. There's like, especially knowing that Goodwin is bad and you watch him just like dupe these people and you're like, how is it going to end? Bernard is really funny.
Bernard is always funny.
We get some good Libby stuff. We get some good Echo stuff.
Yeah, it's overall a very good episode. Like I said, like an alternate universe pilot. Like they just want to do the pilot again.
Absolutely.
And then they were just like, what if we just sped that up like a bunch?
And it works really well.
I love it.
I love it.
Good episode. Sometimes the show is good.
10 out of 12.
10 out of 12. Classic 10 out of 12 situation.
I give it that.
What do you say we head up over to our favorite website,
Random.org?
Random. How about, hey, any of you Star Wars fans out there, Consider random.porg. Just consider it.
Porg?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
You didn't see the new one?
No, I didn't actually.
Oh, well then shame on you for not.
I know.
You're just a plum fool, I guess. I've got the sheet ready and I'm ready.
I've got 1 to 121 random.org. We got 84. Whoa.
84. That
What's
seems
that,
like a late
season
one.
5, episode 1?
84. Season 4, episode 12. There's No Place Like Home, part 1.
Is this the finale?
Out of 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's the
Lost.
first part of a long-ass finale.
Okay, whatever.
All right,
Who's
that's
the character?
no centricity.
Oh my god.
Once again, we're stuck without a central character.
Bizarro world.
Bizarre world, baby.
Wow.
So that's something to look forward to next time.
I'll watch it.
You know what? Hate to admit it, but I'm gonna watch it too.
I'm gonna watch that episode.
Thanks for watching this podcast
Thanks
with
for
us.
watching us tonight.
Hey, we love you.
We love you so much.
Thank you for listening and loving and laughing and everything else.
And if we don't see you, just remember.
Get lost. Jerry.
All right, I think we got it.
I think we got it.
I
feel good.
I feel good.
Jerry.